friends, it's Jackie Balhuis coming to you from Zeeland, Michigan, and I have a video today in my Tips and Techniques series that I'm going to just call Monochromatic Simple Elegance. I don't know what else to call it. There's actually a lot of techniques I'm going to show you on this card, but to me this was a very elegant, simple, monochromatic look to it. And like I said, there's several techniques here. So we're going to go through this card. We are using this Birthday Blooms stamp set. And let's see, make sure you don't have a glare on it. That's what it looks like. And we're using not all of the pieces, actually just a couple of them. So we're going to start, and I am using the powdered pink. That's our monochromatic look we're going for, using powdered pink, which is one of the new 2017-2019 Stampin' Up! In colors. So I have a piece of cardstock here, and I'm going to have a blog post that will have all of the card dimensions and the supplies and everything listed for you, and I'll list it in the description of the video so you can easily find it. But the first part we're going to do is this embossed rose. Now it's embossed using white embossing ink, white embossing powder. And to do that, if you haven't embossed much, you want to use the Versamark pad. And the other thing that's really important is the embossing buddy, this little guy here. And anytime, I use it whenever I emboss, but especially with any of the colored powders, you want to just rub this on your card. It kind of gets the static out of it, and it just makes sure that you don't get specks of embossing powder stuck where you don't want them. So we're going to just take our stamp and we're going to ink it up good. Bigger stamps like this, a lot of times I like to do them upside down, especially with Versamark. I think you can get a better inking this way. So we're going to ink it up really good, and we will stamp it kind of down on the corner edge here. Give it some nice good pressure so that you get some good ink on there, and then so you can't really see anything. Then we're going to take our white embossing powder. Now you'll notice my powder I have in a little Tupperware container. I've had this for years. It actually is a real Tupperware one, even though we all call everything Tupperware these days. But I'm just sprinkle powder on, tap it off, get the extras off. It just works really good to keep it all contained, and I have each color in a separate container. So now you can kind of see the powder on there. And then we're going to just use our heat gun, and we're going to melt this powder. We're going to just keep moving it around. Once it gets heated up here, we'll be able to start seeing the powder melt. There we go. I don't know if you can see that. See where it's getting shiny? So we just keep moving our heat source around. Once it's all melted, you can see how nice and white it is on there. So I know I said monochromatic, but I don't really consider white a color. So what we're going to do is we're going to color in our rose here. You can see on my example how it has some real subtle color, and that is actually colored with the powdered pink ink pad, okay, which coordinates with our cardstock. And what I did is I just squeezed it. So we want to get some ink up here on the lid, and then I am using my aqua painter, and we're going to just smear it in there, get the little water flowing a little bit, and then I'm going to just come in and color. Get some more water going here. There we go. Color our flower. And if you get too much water on there, I just flip it over and dab it off. And then just pick up ink and color it in. You know, it's kind of a watercolor look. The embossing will kind of hold it in there. Now, because this is not watercolor paper, you got to be a little bit careful about not putting too much water, what I like to call like scrubbing it. You don't want to just keep going over and over and over, because it could beat up on you a little bit. But I'm just trying to get this color, and like I said, it's monochromatic, so it's the same color as the cardstock, so it's going to be very subtle. You can kind of see it starting to happen there. And then we're just going to give that some time to dry. And when it dries, it will lighten a little bit. I think this one I actually went over it a second time to get it a little bit darker in spots. So we've watercolored that. And then I also just took the little stamp that's also in that stamp set and stamped a few of these little dots just for a little bit of dimension. So that's powdered pink ink on the powdered pink cardstock. And then our dear friend here, that one I kind of did another technique. I don't know if you know this, but you can actually emboss using your regular stamp pads. Now the trick is, we're going to just use a scrap paper for this because then we're going to punch it out with the circle punch. But I want to take my stamp and make sure it's clean, and you're going to ink it up in Versamark first, then ink it up in your color, whatever color you want. So you could use any of the Stampin' Up! Colors. Stamp it on your cardstock, and you can see the color there. And again, powdered pink on powdered pink. And then we're going to take clear powder because I want it embossed just to kind of keep that elegance going. So the clear powder will stick to that because of using the Versamark ink first. And then we're just going to heat it up. There you go. You can see how that's nice and shiny. So again, it's just the powdered pink ink with the Versamark ink so that we're able to emboss so we get that nice raised look. And then I use the powdered pink ribbon. Okay, this is a new ribbon that we have that just coordinates nice. Tie a little bow, attached it with a glue dot, punch some circles, and there's our elegant monochromatic card. And then for the inside, you know, don't forget to finish off the insides. I just stuck a piece of Whisper White in there, but I stamped the same flower just using the powdered pink ink. So it's not embossed or anything, but it just puts a nice subtle look on there. So there's our card for our tips and techniques. Lots of things going on, how to white emboss, how to do a little watercoloring, embossing with any colored stamp pad to make this monochromatic elegant card. I hope you like it and try doing something similar. If you have any questions or I can help you with anything at all, make sure that you get a hold of me. I love to talk stamping with you anytime I can. And if you're looking for a demonstrator to place an order with, you can always order at www.klompenstampers.com. So thanks and have a stamp happy day.